Ayo.
Yo.
Welcome to Just Because Podcast, episode 5, with your host,
Holy shit, we made it this far.
Marodelo, and
Dan the Man. And I have a new poster today. Woo! Posters!
Lotus.
Yeah, I'm doing my best to get them there. Mm-hmm. They're all sitting upstairs in broken frames for various reasons. So, gotta get them up. But there's gonna be another one right behind me. Shit, there. And then 2 other ones. And then I have another side that I'm gonna set up. As soon as I get it all together, it'll be good.
Yeah, no, it'll be good to see them rotate.
Yeah. Oh, there'll definitely be. That's gonna be like the Easter eggs that keep going in of like, what's gonna happen today?
What's on Dan's wall today?
Exactly. Like, what's going on over here, kids?
Now, one day the podcast will be so big that fans will be paying you to move your paintings around.
That'll be great. Like, I guess I should move the Mona Lisa today.
You can hang them from the column.
So much effort.
You can be like, honey, I just made $7,500 moving my paintings around. What did I tell you?
Yeah. Honey, how much was that Monet you wanted? Okay, we can afford it now. Granted, I know nothing about art at all, so if anything, it'll be like, hey, honey, I just made enough money to buy those shoes I've been looking at for 3 months. Which we'll get into that in a little bit.
So I could tell you about something about shoes.
Oh,
at some point.
I say we dive into that.
Yeah, we'll dive in. Yeah, when we get to your shoe segment, we will definitely get there. But
I feel like that could be a fun reoccurring segment. Not to interject.
Yeah,
the shoe of the week.
You know what? We'll do that next week.
All right.
Our words, viewers. We will start doing song of the week, shoe of the week, and then topic of the week and ramble.
I like it.
I love these new segments. All right, so first segment, song of the week.
All right, you want to start with yours or mine?
I want to hear about what you think about my song.
So what is it? The Believe by the Bravery. I believe I have that right.
Fun City.
Insert dad joke. I liked it. It's definitely, I like the fact that we do this because everything we're sending to each other is very atypical to what we listen to. I did like it. It reminds me of like the late 90s, early 2000s kind of like rock stuff. Really like the opening riff. And I was trying to think as I was listening to it, who it reminded me of, and I still can't put another band to it. But I know what's out there, and I know somebody will be like, oh, they sound like this, and I'll be like, shit, you're right.
Yeah, they kind of sound like a pop punk version of the Killers, if that makes sense.
I was gonna say the Killers, but I didn't want to sound like an idiot because again, I knew them way back when, like I'm talking like Mr. Brightside era. And that's the last I heard of them.
Dude, they have some great stuff out there, man.
Yeah, and that's awesome. But like, I just they fell off my radar at that point.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I like the song, but kind of exactly like I said when we talked about Panic at the Disco. I was like, I like this album. The rest of it, I know it's there, but I'm kind of like, eh.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's the thing is like a lot of people don't take the time to listen to the full like album, but I feel like you really have to get to a point where you love their single or their hit so much that you're like, let me go check out their other stuff.
Yep.
I've recognized that trend with my own music. It's like I'm getting like what is it? I'm up to like I think 25,000 streams on Spotify for Untouchable, and I got like 10,000 of them yesterday, which was like,
holy Christ.
Crazy, I know. But then that translates to like 2,000 or 3,000 hits on Breathe You. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just, it all carries over because they're like, ooh, let me go check out his other music. And
that's what you want.
exactly. And I know it's real because we're not pushing those songs. You know what I mean? We're pushing Untouchable right now. So it's like,
Yeah, yeah. We haven't touched. We haven't. We touched briefly on Breathe You, but we talked about Untouchable.
yeah.
So it's one of those things where that you're definitely picking up steam there.
Yeah, no, with Breathe You, we'll talk about Breathe You specifically when the video comes out. Music video coming
Yes, sounds good. I like that.
set up next week.
Nice.
Anyway, so your song, My Last Semester, The Wonder Years.
Oh, so good.
It's a good, like, I remember I listened to it like 2 other times and right before the call, as you know. And I remember the first time I heard it, I'm like, wait a minute, I've heard this somewhere. And I'm like, oh, I know this song. But it was one of those like hit songs like Mr. Brightside. Like it was, I heard it once, but it didn't stick with me. Even though Mr. Brightside stuck with me and I fell in love with the Killers, I'm saying like this is one of those where like I heard it, but then I kind of it fell off my radar.
Exactly, yeah.
But like it's kind of interesting. Like as of recently, I've been getting a little bit. I've been trying to expand my palette a little bit with the kind of music that you're sending me, and this is definitely leaning in that direction of liking pop punk better and more.
Yeah, I mean, I would honestly tell you just look through their entire discography. All of it's very, very good. And that's not me saying that because I'm friends with a couple of guys in the band. But I mean, I was a fan. Then I met all of them, and they're all just very like down to earth, cool guys. And just like watching their music evolve has been kind of cool to see because their last 2 albums have been a little bit, they've been different, but they've evolved very well in a direction that they want to go.
So they're, in other words, they're aging well on top.
Yes, because they're all around my age.
Right. Yeah. No, that's the thing. Like aging well as an artist is something that I'm definitely keeping in my crosshairs, even though I don't have to worry about that for a while, because like I'm just starting out and I'm not like huge yet, and it's like for example, like John Mayer, like I don't know, his last couple of singles, I was like, okay, but I remember he didn't drop an album for like 4 years straight. From like it was like 2013 was his last album, right? And then he dropped like before the one in 2017. And I don't know, it's weird to hear artists drop music so many years after they haven't dropped anything.
Yep.
And then it's like, whoa, hit after hit after hit. No wonder why they took so long.
Yeah, like the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones did that. Like I think in the last like 5 years they come up with 2 albums, but the one that was before that was like 2013 or something like that. So like, they took like a pretty long gap, but like they're still making music and it's still very good. And those guys, like I've seen them live once. They were old when I saw them. So I'm just like, keep doing what you're doing, guys, because it's awesome. But like, you might want to take it down a notch a little bit. It's getting a little. I'm like you're all like one bad fall off the stage from like band over.
Yeah, no, like they're not. I'm surprised. Like, remember that nasty fall Dave Grohl took in the middle middle of the floor, and he just broke his leg.
Yeah,
he could have broken his neck, dude. Like,
yeah, that was intense. But I mean, Dave Grohl, he's so crazy, and he's like such like that like quintessential rock dude that he did exactly what he was going to do anyway. He's like, build me a throne, I will sit here and rage out on it, and that's how I'm going to do the rest of the tour. Because I saw them whenever that happened, and he, after like the first 2 songs, he like took a minute and he's like, so guys, this is my throne. He's like, there are lasers and shit all over it. He's like, I can't move around, but like you'll see me like freaking out in my throne. I'm like, all right, dude, like you do you.
Bring it.
Yeah,
right?
and it was in like that's the first time I ever saw Foo Fighters, and I was like, this is a damn good show. Like I can only imagine what it's like if he could actually walk around.
It's interesting the way that they've evolved and like their song Everlong and all the stuff they're doing now. It's just like I like it all, honestly.
Yeah, it's good. But
Right. So, topics of the week. Hobbies. We like to do in our free time.
yeah, oh, what's that?
So for me, besides like the typical walking, like hiking, like crap like that, like stuff
Yes.
that actually requires you to like, I feel like it's a hobby if it requires you to have equipment. You know what I mean? Like you got to have something to do with it. You can't just have an entire hobby based on fees. You know what I mean? Alone. Unless you
Yeah,
like,
I get what you're saying. You have to have, I would say, some type of investment into it, even if
exactly.
it's like $10. Like it's something you are invested in.
Yeah, exactly. Like, of course, you know, and music started out as a hobby, but it is no longer a hobby. It's a job
Yeah,
for me now.
yeah,
So, and it's kind of challenging to. I remember it was really challenging to answer the question of like, so like, you know, you do what you love for a living, right? And I'm like, yeah. And then whoever's asking me, they're like, well, what's your hobby then? And I used to have to be like,
like hobby. What is that?
yeah.
What does this hobby you speak of? I don't have those.
But then I decided, you know what, like I need to because like that used to be my hobby, but it's
Yeah,
not. So I gotta find other things to do.
yeah.
So I got it's interesting. In high school, I got really into playing like volleyball and dodgeball. And there's just something about um being like a left-handed server that throws people off every time I serve in volleyball, and it just they're like,
So it's the same. So it's the same thing as a left-handed pitcher. And have you ever played ultimate frisbee?
yes.
Same thing. Like if you're primary left-handed, trying to guard somebody like that sucks.
Yeah, because you have to immediately flip exactly what you used to
Yeah,
do. Like that's and it's unfortunately I don't throw people off that way because I throw with my right hand. Well, I mean I throw frisbees with my right. I throw dodgeballs and serve with my I'm ambidextrous when it comes to like it just depends what feels more comfortable.
okay.
But
Yeah,
no, I just remember in high school, like I used to look forward to it. We had it like every other day, and the opposite day was like another elective we had. So like every Tuesday, Thursday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I got to walk in the class with the biggest smirk on my face, ready to spike on some freshmen. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um,
Man, I miss those days.
yeah, right.
No, I actually I love volleyball, and actually my senior year I almost joined our volleyball team, like for fun,
They would have loved you, man.
because I was just like it's something to do like just while like in between like my breaks in swimming, and I didn't end up doing it, but the whole reason I was going to join it was our one of our gym teachers was the coach, and he was like kind of like somewhat recruiting me for like 3 years, and I was like, if I do this, it's just going to be my senior year.
Yeah, yeah.
But I never ended up doing it. But like we would as like a team because like I mean I swam in high school, I swam in college. You're like in a cult basically. I was always with like my teammates, and we would always instead of running, we would play ultimate. Or if it was a halfway decent day out, there's a couple parks that have sand volleyball courts, so we'd get like 4 or 5 of us and just go play.
Oh, that's the move. And
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just like I feel like that's why I didn't join any like sport or club in school because I knew that it was going to take away from the stuff I was doing here, you know, with
yeah.
the playing I remember this is funny as shit. So when I was like in middle school, um, the senior music director at my middle school reached out to my dad personally
Mhm.
and was like, "Hey, you know, we hear your son is very musically inclined. like
Mhm.
guitar. And he's like, okay, thank you. Yes. What about it? And they're just like, we were wondering if he'd be willing to join the jazz group and play guitar. And
Mhm.
my dad kind of like squinted at it, and then he came to me. He's like, you should try this. They're like reaching out to you, man. And I'm like, no, tell them to send you the music. And he's like, what? And I said, tell them to send you the music, the kind of music they make you play.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he listened to it. Like I remember I was there when he opened the email. He just stared at the computer for 10
Just
seconds, shook his head for 5 seconds, like stopped the MP3 and went, "You're not doing this."
like, hey, we're done.
Exactly. Never came up again. Was never pressured or never asked to buy into that shit at all.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I didn't, because like it would have taken away from what I do now, and I wouldn't be where I am now.
I would say that, and also it would give you. I would say that, and then also like the fact that you were smart enough to say, "Hey, have them send you the music." You could have blindly walked in and just been like, "This sucks, I'm leaving."
Yeah, but the thing is like I had to get like, if I, knowing my parents and knowing the way that I was as a kid, I would have done exactly that, and they would have been like, "Get back in there."
Oh yeah, yeah. You ain't quitting.
Exactly. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't. It was like at that point, I knew
Yeah.
the only way to escape it was to get them to listen to it. And you know what? Honestly, like, yeah, same. Like at the end of the day, like there were cool clubs. Like there was this one club I wanted to join, um, my junior year, and it was the Hunch program, which is an after school program and committee, that was taught by that robotics teacher I referenced a couple episodes ago,
Yeah. Okay.
and they're partnered with NASA. So like it's kind of a big deal, and they
Yeah.
do like research development, with, because like there's some geniuses here or there, and there's like 4,000 kids or that go in the school district. So there's bound to be some geniuses with some ideas. So there's a reason why they kind of have that program, especially if you want to get into aerospace engineering or
Yeah.
astronaut, whatever the fuck you want to do in aerospace. And I remember I went to the first meeting and I was like, I cannot sit through this every
Yeah.
day for the rest of the year. So I didn't come for the rest of the meetings, and I still got a plaque at the end of the year. I'll pull it out at the end of the episode if you want me to. It's funny.
I'd love to see that,
Oh man.
because that reminds me so much of a participation trophy,
Oh man. That's
which
basically what it was. Even though I
I
didn't.
will go on a tirade about that at some point.
Mhm. You can
But
make
that's for a later
whole
time
episode
and
out of
later
that.
place. What?
I said we can make a whole episode of that. But what did you say?
I was gonna say I'll go on a tirade about that at some later time and date, but that's not for now.
A whole episode about that.
I have a whole utter disdain is the most political way of saying how I feel about participation trophies. We may have to make this a Patreon episode because there's gonna be a lot of expletives.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So unless you want to hear like 10 minutes of brrr, we'll probably just put that over.
Yeah, or we could pull your dad on the show.
Oh god. I talked to him about that. He's like, there's no way in hell I'm doing this. I'm like, oh, you will.
At some point, yeah.
I'm like, at some point you're gonna have some insane idea that I want to dig deep into, and I'm just gonna record it.
Oh no, your dad's an interesting enough dude to make that happen.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, he'll start talking some wild shit, and it will be awesome. But so my question for you is, one, I kind of understand why you gravitate towards volleyball. You're tall, it's fun.
Yeah.
But fishing. Why is this like, I could see fishing being fun if I had some hand grenades. Other than that, I'm not really kind of interested in it. Like I did it when I was a kid. I don't see the appeal, but what kind of got you into that?
So it's kind of interesting. I have a couple of friends who are into it, and it wasn't like they got me into it. It was like, it was more like it was like something to do, and then it slowly like turned into like a satisfying thing to just go out and catch fish. It's there's something satisfying about hooking a worm on there and then casting out and then, just kind of chilling there. And then
Okay.
you wait for the fish to act and then you reel that her in,
Yeah.
and it slowly just became something more I wanted to try over time. I haven't gone. The only time I went deep sea fishing was like off of a pier. Where the hell were we? We were in like, oh, this is back. This is when I went to Georgia like 5 years ago. 5 years ago this summer it'll be, yeah. Right in between my my freshman and sophomore year. Back when the hair was short. I'll pull up a picture. I remember this picture. And I'll show you
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, but before you had the flowing locks.
Yeah, before the locks. Yeah, we went to a pier on. Well, let me think. Yeah, we were on Tybee Island, which is like the northernmost island on the Georgia shore,
Okay.
right? So like South Carolina is like right there.
Yeah, I've heard Tybee's a cool place.
Oh, Tybee's a great place. It's kind of it's like it's not imagine like the same environment as like a Florida beach, but with it's not as touristy. It's not as frou-frou. It's not as like it's just it's chill. It's nice.
They're
and
no swamp people.
What was that?
They're no swamp people. We can cut that out if you want to, but
Yeah, no, the swamp people.
I don't want to get Tom Segura here, so
God, him with the state of Louisiana.
that's what I mean. I don't need that kind of smoke right now. So
No,
we'll cut that out.
Not this early. Not this early.
we need to get rolling then to be like, yeah, you guys are done. Fuck.
then we'll get canceled. But
that'll go on the Patreon though.
Help us get canceled.
No, the swamp people. This like 30-second clip will go right there.
But no, also like this was like on the Jersey Shore way back in the day when I was a kid. Our family friends, they had like a crab cage they would hang off the dock at their beach house, and it was literally like you walk out into the yard and it's like you could see it's like 30 feet away, and you'd walk over and you could pull it up. And I remember one day they caught like a baby eel in it. It was maybe like a couple feet long, but like ever since that day when I was a kid, I was like, someday I'm gonna get more into that.
Speaking of that, do you remember when we took the family vacation to Bethany Beach? I think you were tiny.
Was that Bethany? Was this in Naples?
No, this is whenever we all went up to like it was like right outside Ocean City, and we rented that sketchy beach house that had sand everywhere.
I don't remember that, but you gotta tell me.
Long story short, it goes on with the crabbing. Blaine and I were crabbing off our pier on the back.
Right.
And we figured it out to where we would, whenever we dropped the cage, like instead of it just collapsing open, we would only get the front to open so we could just dump them into the bucket. Long story short, we messed up one of them and we dropped it and they started to scatter everywhere. I'm barefoot.
Oh.
Yeah, so I almost lost my big toe that day.
How big were they?
Not tiny. It's like this dude comes up, he's like, goes, tries to snap me, and I'm like, not today, Satan. I just kicked it right back into the thing, and then after that, I looked at him, I'm like, and we're done.
Oh my God! Wait. So you guys must have been like in your teenage years when that happened, because
I think I was like 12.
Well, because here's the thing: if you were 12.
Oh no! I think I might have been like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
So you were wee baby.
Yeah, I was a little kid. Yeah.
Yeah, that explains why you don't remember. But yeah, no, I almost lost my big toe that day. But I digress. Back to the fishing.
Holy fuck! But yeah, so fishing. Yeah, so I I've never caught anything huge. I want to like. My next goal is to so where I am, there's a canal, and it runs along the Delaware River. Again, not disclosing my exact location, because the canal is very long and non-specific in location, but it's a nice place to go, to where you can just you can even go on the bridges, because the bridges are either walkways or roads with a
Right.
sidewalk, and you can just cast on the bridge and just chill.
That's nice.
And there's enough distance between like housing and other properties for you to you can't blast music, but you can listen to music and it
Okay.
not be disturbing to anybody or anything, because there are joggers and bicyclists going by all the time. You wave hi to people, like, whether you know or you don't know, you just wave hi.
Just polite. Yeah.
Everyone's super chill. Everyone that owns a property on the canal is very like, they're cool.
Okay.
And it's also like it's a vibe thing, I guess, is another thing. If you like that vibe of it's kind of like the same vibe as suntanning on the beach, but just making sure to flip over at the right time, kind of like making sure to pay attention to the pole at the right time.
Right.
It's the same, like you could just sit there, like that's like half of what I do. Half of what I do with my friends when I go fishing is we catch up, because like we've all become so busy because now we're all adults and we're not like kids who can just like do whatever we want anymore. Like we got shit to do, man. So we mostly catch up. But also like there's that there's different kinds of bait, there's different kinds of hooks you can use. Depends what you're fishing for. Because there are some, the one spot where I messed up my knee. Good news on that, it's just a contusion. There's like a dent in the top of my shin bone instead of a break, it's still very sore. And
that still doesn't sound fun.
No, it's not fun at all. But if my knee doesn't lock up for the rest of the day today, I can start driving tomorrow. So really hoping it hasn't locked up since Wednesday night. So
now you're screwed. I'm gonna text you later. You're gonna be like, I can't bend my knee anymore. And I'll be like, I told you. It's the universe coming back at you, son.
No, watch my knee lock up on Monday. Wow, but yeah, I am very I'm very stupid for going to that spot. Not only because I hurt myself that day, of course, as we all know, but the size of the fish that were there were definitely way too big to hook onto see some worm in the water and go, yeah, okay, I'm not going, like, that's not what I want.
They're swimming by, they're like, nah, fam.
No, we should have been hooking like actual fish that you can buy at like Dick's Sporting Goods or whatever. Which is what I'm probably gonna do next time, because they have like the little things of worms in the fridge at the front, of course, and you can get those wherever. Like Walmart, like wherever.
Yeah.
But like the real stuff is like like real anchovies that you can buy that are in like an oil that preserves them or whatever, so they never go bad. But that's like if you're trying to catch like catfish, or like big fish, because like, and there's also the rods there's like different weights of rods. Like some rods can really only handle between like 10 to 15 pounds of resistance, which is enough for a small fish. But if you tried to catch a catfish with that,
it's breaking.
Yeah, I mean, like the rod is gonna come out of your hand. Like the second half of the rod is gonna go boop.
Yeah.
So you got to make having the right rod is everything. But at the same time, like I've seen rods that like are thicker than this microphone stand because they're deep sea. And, and you catch those.
You catch like 800-pound tuna.
Oh yeah. 800 pounds. Holy crap.
Which, not to digress from this, but have you ever actually seen a tuna?
I'm gonna look up. You know what? I'm gonna do that right now.
They're like 6 feet long.
Are they really 6 feet long?
Oh yeah. When I was in Japan, we went to like this fish market outside of Tokyo where they would cut tuna steaks. I'm talking like pieces of tuna, like
whoa,
but like
But
They're like 1,000 pounds. There's something like 1,000 pounds. They're massive.
you mean like yellowfin tuna, like the really big tuna?
Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. No, I'm looking at it right now on Google.
Yeah, they're intense.
Oi, oi.
Yeah, they're intense.
I'm just gonna share screen real quick, just
Go ahead.
so I don't have to edit this later.
Yeah.
Doop. Share. Bam. So, wow. Yeah. So this is the
Yeah.
what? This is the one right at the
Those
top.
some bitches.
This is the one I was looking at. Holy
Yeah, they're huge.
man, this is no joke.
Huge.
Yeah, no, that fishing rod has to be as thick as their legs.
Yeah.
Damn. Woo!
Yeah.
That is something.
It's a lot of tuna.
I mean, like at the same time, yeah, I could see why people are more willing to kill tuna than salmon because they hold so much more meat.
Yeah, like your one tuna could be probably equivalent, like, again, I'm making numbers up here. I'm not a scientist. I'm gonna say like 10 salmon.
I mean, like we got to think about how big salmon are as well.
Yeah, so somewhere between, I would say 5 to 10.
You know, salmon are like the length of your forearm. You know what I mean? So like a 6-foot fish would probably feed, and you think about it, 12-inch fish compared to a 6-foot fish.
Yeah.
You're gonna feed probably 20 times as more people.
Yeah.
Than with one salmon. But it's interesting. I am not like a cooked. I mean, like I'll eat cooked salmon because my dad loves to cook it all the time. But I prefer raw fish over cooked fish. I'm gonna be honest.
I will never eat salmon ever again because my mother ruined it for me my entire life.
Wait, why?
My mom cooks it all the fucking time.
Okay, yeah.
So like growing up, I just would smell salmon. And I've tried it like 4 times, and I'm just like, nope, PTSD, no, hate this, awful, don't want it. Give me a burger, please. But I do like fish though, so like there's like a lot of like white fish I like grouper, cod, Alaskan pollock, swordfish.
Swordfish is great.
Swordfish is fantastic, but it's so friggin' expensive.
Yeah, I remember you had it at your wedding.
Well, it was at the wedding. You could order whatever the hell you wanted.
True, yeah.
Which is kind of also why we did that, because it just solved so many problems.
Yeah, no, and dude, it was, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like if you had the most gourmet fish stick in your entire life into a big piece of fish. That's what it reminded me of. Not in that
swordfish
a compliment.
Yeah, no, and I would say like swordfish was like probably one. Swordfish and blue marlin, they're very similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and they're very much I would say they're more kind of like steaky than they are fishy.
Yeah, no, their texture and their mouthfeel. Yeah, they're more steaky than
it's more like I'm getting a decent steak than a fish, but then you look at the price and you're like.
No,
yeah, that's awesome. You do that, but I don't get
it. Is it because swordfish? Is it because they're harder to catch, or they're more rare, or like what's the?
I have no idea.
So you said in blue marlin,
I think it's
what they use in fish sticks, right?
No, I don't. They probably use cod in fish sticks.
Probably just cod, right?
No, I think it's because there's a specific season for them. Like you can't. I don't think you can get. Like I think you can get them all the time, but there's specific times a year whenever they're better. I don't know. I haven't bought fish in forever. And that's mostly because we don't have a grill here. Because if I was gonna get something like that, I want a grill and I want to taste that.
So you're right. I brought up a picture, and they are very similar. Even the sailfish.
They're all very, very similar in size, like everything. So
they're all like cousins of each other. So I bet they mistake each other all the time, and there's these weird hybrids.
Probably, right?
All the time.
And they both, like, if you have a blue marlin I would say if you have a blue marlin or a swordfish, I dare you to tell me which one is which, because they taste almost the same.
Yeah,
No, it's good you like fishing, and I mean, like I said, you have access to it more than I do,
Yeah.
so that's also probably why I can't stand it.
Is it
Or
so? Can you fish? I mean, like, have you like where can you fish where the three rivers meet, or is that really just like a not good place?
I mean, so they had the Bass Masters there one year. I was waiting for the three-eyed Simpson fish to pop up because I don't know what the hell's in the mon, but the mon's all funky. Like if you look at where the three rivers meet, the Allegheny is noticeably lighter than the mon.
Really?
Yes.
So it's noticeably lighter than the Ohio and the Monongahela.
When the Monongahela, the Allegheny and the Monongahela come together to form the Ohio River.
Oh, they form. Oh, okay.
Yes.
So the
But
Monongahela.
if you look at both of them coming together, you're the one that's not as like I would say brown is the Allegheny.
Yeah, no, because that comes from up north, and the
Monongahela,
Monongahela comes up from the south, from like West Virginia, Mountain Mama.
Yeah, it was like West Virginia, like Greene County, Pennsylvania, which is very close to West Virginia.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's interesting. I
But
was
yeah,
on.
if you're up on Mount Washington, you can noticeably see. You're just like, whoa.
No, I think I remember in the past seeing that, but you know what's even like bigger than that is like the Susquehanna is like
Susquehanna is massive.
it's so wide. Like
Yeah.
that's like the dump truck of rivers, if you know what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
But that flows into the Chesapeake Bay.
Sure. I don't know.
Fact checking.
Yeah, I know the Susquehanna. We have some of it down here where I'm at. I mean, not close to me. Like it's down like in Ohio, which is like an hour and a half from where we are.
Wait, so I'm gonna hold on a minute. I'm gonna find Susquehanna River. So, oh wow, no, the Susquehanna it actually comes from up in I'll share it and show you.
It's like Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah, it goes through Wilkes-Barre. Yeah, it does go by there. You're right. And I mean, the part that we pass through is like on the turnpike. So just south of Harrisburg is where we.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's like over here in this area, like right across. It's huge. Oh. But let's see where the actual route starts, because I know that it's. Hold on. Here it is. I'll just zoom in on the page. So yeah, it starts in Oh wait, so it starts in upstate New York.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. No, that's weird. It flows into PA, then out of PA, then back in.
Yeah, then just like it gets to Chesapeake Bay and it's like bye.
It also kind of looks like a guy going if
yeah.
you look at it from that big nose. Oh, that's funny.
God damn it! Come on, poop wins.
But yeah, so I mean, other hobbies that I like to do is like, I mean, like you could probably talk about swimming forever, but
I don't want to.
Yeah, I feel like you're kind of tired of that.
I did it for 9 years, and I tried to get back into it about 10 years ago, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm done."
Was it like too much pain, or did you?
I don't know how I did it for 9 years.
So like it just became.
It's intense. Is the best way I can describe
it. That's the way that literally everyone I know that's into swimming is like. They're like, dude, it is like your life.
Well, to put in perspective, when I was doing it, so the last 7 years were like the most competitive. So that was like when I was going into high school, what I did for my 3 years when I was in college. It was a 10.5 month out of a 12-month year.
Oh.
So you don't get time off.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Like you get like a month break, February to like late February to like mid-April, and then like August, and that's it. And that's assuming you don't make the that's in those months. So
So
you could be going like 11 and a half months out of a 12-month year.
so you literally get like a 3-week break every 6 months, pretty much.
More or less.
That's no.
Yeah. And you know what you want to do during those 3 weeks? Not fucking swim. And you know what happens when you don't do that for 3 weeks and you go back? It's hell.
Yeah, I could freaking imagine. I remember one summer, I thought it was gonna help me gain muscle and weight to do like 20 laps a day. No, did the opposite. It
You should have just called me. I could have been like, hey, numbnuts, go eat McDonald's 3 times a day. You'll gain weight.
Literally, the thing was is I also wanted to become a stronger swimmer and a faster swimmer, which it definitely did help me with. Because after a couple of weeks, I noticed I was able to swim to the end of, like, it's only a 40-foot pool. I was able to reach the end of the pool like 2 seconds quicker within the span of like about a month.
Yeah, no.
A lot.
Yeah, no. If you want to gain weight, just start eating fast food.
But what that will do to my belly.
Listen, do you want to put some weight on or no?
I mean, it's, you know what the worst part about putting on weight and being a singer is that, like, I have to watch what I eat because like I have to watch, like, if I'm eating dairy or like that's not good for your vocal cords. If I eat too much gluten before I sing, it's like I get bloated and it slows me down.
Yeah.
Caffeine, can't do caffeine because for some reason there's a very slim percentage of asthmatic people who hyperventilate when they drink caffeine. That's me. I fall into that very slim chance of that happening. And
Jesus.
it dries out my throat and like it's not good for your vocal cords. So I can't do caffeine. What is it?
So you're just a mess.
What was that?
So you're just a mess.
Pretty much. I can't drink too much either because that's not good for your vocal cords.
It's also not good for a lot of things, but
it's really not. It's really not good for you at all.
Yeah.
It's
PSA kids, don't drink a lot. It's not it's temporary. It's fun, then you're just like, meh.
I do have to say though, I don't regret it because it does give your voice some character. If you do a certain amount of something, a little bit of abuse here, it's not that bad because it gives you that rasp, you know.
If you're looking for that, start blasting cigs like a pack a day for like a month, you'll be good.
Yeah,
but have fun quitting.
Right, exactly. Like what is it? You know, Axl Rose goes, "Welcome to the jungle."
Yeah.
Want to watch you bleed? It's like he's doing.
They'll give you that. Yeah.
It's all head and diaphragm and rap.
Blasting six.
pretty much. Like Nat King Cole blasted cigs and he got throat cancer and died.
Yeah.
Imagine blasting cigs to the point where you get throat cancer first before you even get lung cancer, and you don't even get lung cancer, and you got throat cancer before you get lung cancer.
Yeah. I mean, but, and I'm not condoning this, he does have one of the coolest voices ever.
He did.
It's like, I'll see fields green. Like,
dude, that was not Nat King Cole. That's Louis Armstrong, bro.
Whatever. Same thing. I confuse a lot of old like singers. It's bad. Like I said, I'm not musically inclined.
No, dude, you know what? I've had the same. Okay, back when I was in like elementary school, I remember I was trying to like sound cool. This is like I was like 8, and I was like, "Yo, did you guys watch the Phillies shoot some hoops this weekend?"
Yeah.
everyone just like looked at me and was like,
"This kid."
This guy, yeah. Literally.
Also, let's keep into perspective. Almost your entire family is based in Pittsburgh. Anything you say about Philadelphia, you're immediately going to be eviscerated for a lot of things.
Exactly, and I'm glad I don't follow sports at all because it's one of those things where like it's never been a topic in my household.
Yeah.
Unless my mom is like wearing a shirt and goes, "Woo, Steelers," and my dad and I were like,
"Okay,
all right."
But that's because your mom grew up here.
Yeah.
So that's ingrained in her blood.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I feel like Pittsburgh is a much more, I guess you could say, sports oriented town.
Oh yeah,
And just
100%. We're like you run into anybody, like especially like when you get to like the Yinzers, you're 100% like, oh, I see them Steelers in that, or like, oh, them Penguins and them Pirates got a good season coming up. Like that's what we talk about. Philly fans hate us,
and I get
and
it.
reciprocally we hate them. But that's neither here nor there.
I mean, it's interesting. Like I have people who like who grew up here and then they went to Pittsburgh for college.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I've noticed, like there are very artistic people in Pittsburgh, but
Yeah, well, I mean,
yeah.
R.I.P. the Art Institute, but
See, another reason.
and well,
Yeah.
Andy Warhol,
Yeah.
like there's definitely artistic people here, but yeah, if you're gonna have an everyday conversation with anyone from Pittsburgh, you better be like up on your Steelers, Penguins, or Pirates knowledge, or you're gonna get checked, son.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna get checked, son. But okay, so hold on, wait. I'm interested. I want to hear the shoe thing that you were talking about because that segues into one of my hobbies, and I will say it as a hobby because I'm not making money at it yet.
Right, yeah. So what about shoes? What was it?
I mean, I've always liked sneakers. I've always been in tune with that world because of my father.
Right.
He likes shoes. I get it from him. It just that's how it plays out. But I'll say probably the last 3 years I've started to like notice more trends and things like that. And like a lot of the stuff that I bought previously was just like, hey, I like this, I'm gonna wear it. And then kind of I would say probably the last 2 years I've started to keep eyes on like, for lack of a better phrase, like hype sneakers. So like you're like off-white Nikes, your like Jordan 1s, like all that shit that like you see people going crazy for to sell, and then you end up reselling it for like quadruple what you paid for.
Right.
So I would say I'm by no stretch of imagination good at it. I don't have a collection. I dabble in it is the best way I can describe it. Oh, don't get me wrong, I do have some hype, but
says the guy who has like 50 pairs of shoes.
Right. But I'm not. But I would say I don't fall into that collector thing because like I watch a lot of like different shows, or like I listen to a lot of podcasts where like these guys have like 300 on a bad day. So like I don't consider myself a collector because I'm also not the person that is going to have them and not wear them. If I'm buying them, they're going on my feet and I'm going to wear the shit out of them.
No, you know what, dude? I completely agree. I feel like people who just buy shoes to have them. I mean, like here's the thing. Like I've seen people who are like, there's only one pair of shoes I don't wear. I'm like, what's that? And they're like, these were signed by my favorite rapper. And I'm like, okay, don't wear them.
And I get that. That I 100% understand. But like the people that, and I'll give you the best one the best thing I can tell you is, there's an app that Nike has. It's called Sneakers, and that's where they drop a lot of their like exclusive stuff that like there's only like limited amounts, and you have to like log in at a certain time to like either like get in a draw to get your name pulled to get them, or like you basically pay for them and hope you get them.
Right.
And I hate it and I love it at the same time. Because like there has been a couple times I've actually gotten stuff I wanted, but for the most part I never win, which fine. There's still some stuff that like I will pay like a premium to get. There's a couple pairs that I have my eyes on right now that I'm like, I don't care what they cost. I just have to have them. But like a lot of things like where they're killing it is killing like people like me who just want to have them because I want to wear them. I want to like I want them because I like them. Are these people that like pay money for like these bots that go in and get like 50 entries and will get like maybe 10 pairs out of that and are taking away from like me, who's just like, I'm one guy. I'm like, I hope this works.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, that is really, that's what annoys me about it. But I mean, it's also kind of fun because it's like, let's see what happens.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and I mean, just because I have so many sneakers, like, and Carrie will attest to this. Anytime if I'm like wearing, I feel like we're going out or like whatever, like I try to dress myself from the shoes up.
There. Yeah.
So like
I could.
I've showed you like those crazy purple ones I have. Um, Obviously you can't wear a lot with like bright purple sneakers, but like I own a load of black stuff, like hoodies, shorts, t-shirts. So I'm just like, this will work. Let's go.
Yeah.
So I try to dress like pseudo cognizantly of that. I'm by no stretch of the imagination into fashion. I never have been,
Mhm.
but that's like I would say that's just kind of like my thing and something that like I've kind of grown into
No.
because of that.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people, um, with their fashion, they need to build their fashion around their defining feature. Like
Yeah,
like a defining feature for you. You're like incredibly tall.
yeah.
You're 6'5". So
I'm not a tiny human.
no, that the I could understand why you would start at the feet.
Yeah,
And like for me, like I'm also tall, but I'm not as tall as you. I'm 6 on the dot. So, but
yeah.
I have like long curly hair.
Right. So
And
you're just like,
yeah. And then
yeah.
also like I have a tan complexion, so I can pull off colors like this and
Oh yeah,
this blue. You know
yeah.
what I mean? On the same shirt. And like that's kind of and like this like I'm in my gym attire. I'm going to the gym with somebody after this, which is pretty fun.
Yeah,
But
have fun, Hobbles.
she's going to the show, but she's gonna be like, "What happened to you?" And
Just be like, I'll tell you some other time. Or just be like, go listen to our podcast. I'll tell you what happened. That's what you need to do. Like, if you want the story, here's the link.
literally, like I'm not repeating it again.
No. That's like I tell everybody, they're like, how was that fitness crawl? I'm like, I talked about it. Just go watch this.
So like I saved my Instagram story. I'm just gonna send you it, and
Yeah.
just your face at the end. But dude, that was
Oh
my
yeah.
favorite part. I could
Yeah.
tell that was real. That wasn't even like acting.
Oh no, that was me sitting on the floor, like I just want to lay here and hopefully a boulder falls on my face. It was so painful, but I digress. Yeah, so I mean, I would say it's that, and then like I mean, obviously I'm peddling fitness supplements, and thank you for buying some. I'm still trying to get that freaking company to try and sponsor us, and I'm gonna start getting very annoying with my emails real soon.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna order some more today, but
Take inspiration from the Susan emails, and you should be fine.
oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but I'm ordering some more of that stuff today. But like that's like that those that's like the only other thing I do is like I try to collect sneakers and I just work out.
No, I mean,
I'm
do what you love, man.
yeah, I'm kind of boring.
So before we wrap it up, what other hobbies are your thing besides like shoes? And
The only thing that I really do habitually is just I work out like 5 6 days a week, like, and obviously like this started as a hobby, but I'm kind of like no, I want this to be my day job. I don't like having a day job anymore.
yeah, no, it's
So, um, like that's basically it. And I mean, we can get into a whole other episode about tattoos that I will never show my mother. But
well, speaking of,
oh yeah, you got the that little guy. Oh, that little guy. I won't worry about that little guy.
new ink. No,
There
dude,
you go.
literally, it took the guy 8 minutes, and
Man, I miss those days.
8 minutes, yeah. But and dude, it was like I don't know. It's just the closer they get to the nipple, the worse, or
Oh yeah.
the worse. But other than that, it really like doesn't even bother me. Like I can tap it, it'll sting for half a second and it'll go away.
Now
Like
I'll tell you on your arms, your triceps really suck.
that's what I've heard. I've heard like,
And like the chicken wing, which I would say like this whole area right here, not fun.
So here's the thing. My buddy Sean, who I'll post the picture up when I edit this.
Yeah.
He got a bundle of 3 saffron flowers tattooed across the side of his left side of his head, right? So, oh my God. And he said that it wasn't as bad as the back of his knee.
Oh yeah, I've heard that's terrible.
I've heard that's like the most painful spot.
Yeah, I've heard that. So, like I said, I talk to my artist about it all the time. He's kind of said the same. He said one of the worst ones he had was his belly and his chest.
His chest, really?
Like his no, like
Oh, like that. Oh,
like the whole shebang.
no, like dude, I couldn't imagine like my chest is a thing where it dents in. I couldn't imagine getting tatted right freaking here.
Yeah, I can't imagine that's gonna feel great.
Oh, you know what's weird about that spot too is if you look really closely,
Yeah,
and if I hold still enough, you can see my heartbeat.
it's kind of creepy.
It's so creepy. It's so creepy.
Kind of creepy. Yeah, no, but he was just saying like that's bad. The belly is not fun. I can't imagine your kneecap is fun either.
No, I feel like muscle is like the least painful because I've heard fat like on your butt is
Fat sucks. Yeah, fat sucks. The elbow is weird.
Is the back of the elbow worse because of the ulnar nerve, or is it, or does
it just feels weird. What sucks though, especially for me and one of my other buddies, is our elbows swelled up. So that's fun. And what was it? After I got the lotus flower, the next day I hit it off a door frame.
Oh.
Yeah, it was not great. Not great. Yeah, that was not fun at all. But like, having said all that, like when he did like my forearms and stuff like that, I basically fell asleep.
Like it wasn't that bad?
I was just like, I could do this for a while.
What about like the underside of your forearm? I've heard that's pretty painful.
Like
closer to the wrist.
You like that?
Yeah. Was that painful?
It wasn't painful, but because of all the nerves there, when he did that line and was doing like the coloring and stuff in here, he was, how did he do this? He had one of his knees was holding my hand down like this. So like my hand wouldn't twitch.
Oh yeah, because all the sensory. Yeah.
It didn't hurt, and he's like, I just got to do this to like knock this like little stuff out. I'm like, do whatever you got to do. And whenever he got off it was still like kind of twitching a little bit, and I'm like, okay, now I see why you did this, because you don't want to like jack up a straight line.
Exactly. No. Oh my God, no. I would have been so mad if my guy fucked up the swoop on the G. I would have been so mad if he. Oh.
Yeah.
But he did. He does great work.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a whole other. We can get into a whole other episode of tattoo pain.
You know, dude, I'll take you to my guy when you're here if you want to get a little something.
I have a few things I still need lined up that I have my guy working on.
There you go.
No, yeah, but no, when you come out here, I'm gonna be like, we're going to the tattoo shop.
And I'm gonna watch you get tattooed.
I'm just gonna show up and be like, Seth, he wants something. I don't know what, but he wants something.
No. If anything, like I again something I can cover up, maybe something on like my back.
I'm making you go home with a sleeve.
Oh fuck that, dude! I would never get an acting job for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you'd be fine.
You know what, dude? You can still like keep in mind like there are guys like Pete Davidson and Justin Bieber who.
Well, Pete Davidson not anymore because he's getting them all removed.
Exactly. Yeah. Same with Bieber, and they're like, and the reason why is because they'll spend 4 hours in the makeup just sitting there doing nothing. They literally can't do anything.
Yeah. No, I watched Pete's interview on. The fuck was I don't know if it was Fallon or if it was on Seth Meyers, basically like saying like why he's getting them all removed, and that was his reasoning. And I'm like, that makes sense. Um, but I don't know. I think that whole stigma of, and again, this is another episode we can get into. I think the whole stigma of people that are tattooed, like that needs to just go away.
Like, you mean people like you?
I'd say anybody that's kind of heavily tattooed, like it's just like, oh, this person's like there's like just preconceived notions of like this person's like is this or this person fits into this category. So
You mean that? Yeah,
yeah,
no, that I hate that.
it pisses me off a lot.
I feel that especially with like my like I guess are you a millennial or a Gen Y?
I have no clue because both of us are at that weird cutoff.
Yeah.
Or like depending on what you look at, I could be what the fuck is it? A millennial or like the Gen Y.
Yeah, I feel I don't know where you fall, but I would say I'm definitely I fall more in the Gen Z because of the culture that
Yeah,
I
no, like
follow.
we're somewhere in like that weird like we're in that weird area where it's like it could be this, could be this. Which I don't care, and I don't think a lot of that applies to I would say everyday life in many situations. However, and this is just me speaking from somebody that works in the field of hiring and things like that, I will say like a lot of like the Gen Z or like the younger millennials coming into the workforce, I cannot stand working with them or trying to hire them.
Yeah. I feel like because here's the thing is like the Gen Zers like I know it's a stereotype, but millennials are just they're more self-centered and they're more like snot nose. Not gonna lie.
Well, no, and I would say like I've witnessed it firsthand because like it's how do I say this? It's I would say it's one of those things where, and we touched on this before, a lot of them have never really experienced adversity or like some type of challenge, which that bleeds over into my thoughts on participation trophies. But again, I'll get into that at some other point. So they come into like the job market for like these entry level jobs and they're just like, I want this, I want this, I want this. And I'm like, you're not getting any of that. Like, would you like a paycheck? Because you will get that. It's not going to be what you think it is because I hate to break it to you, you're not the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I got a pool of 60 people that are you. Like, wow me.
Show me why you're different. Like,
yeah.
But like I guess the whole thing about how tattoos ties into that is because they're becoming more lenient.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of places that don't like. There's still industries that are going to be very hard nosed. Like you can't do this, you can't do this, and a lot of things I understand that, and I agree with that to a certain extent. Like if I was in the hospital and like I had like I was there was like a doctor that I was seeing that had like sleeves, I'd be like, cool, I don't care. Like I'm very much in the mindset like just don't get it on your neck, face, or hands. Do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. But like for example, dude, my psych teacher, my senior year, full sleeve, and like
Yeah,
and
I had a professor in college that had a
a
sleeve.
couple on his one arm and a whole.
Yeah,
And it's one of the nicest, coolest guys I've ever met in my life.
yeah,
And there's because here's the thing: if you're getting like teardrops tattooed on your face, like okay, then you're a bad person because that means you're like picking people off. That's not cool. Murder is not.
yeah. No, like I said, dude, if you like, just don't get it in this general area. I can even deal with hands. I don't care about that as long as you don't have like "fuck you" written on your knuckles.
Oh my god, dude! Literally,
Like I don't care. You can get them all over your hands and fingers. Do whatever the hell you want. Just like don't get like I would say like the neck and face. I'm just kind of like as somebody who has a lot of them. I'm kind of like probably not the best decision.
you want to know what's like even more fucked up? I know somebody that got across their knuckles
Oh,
tattooed,
that's great.
and
I'm sure that person's a catch.
and dude, oh my God, like imagine if that guy became like a father, like, and your daddy just has tattooed across their hands, man.
Yeah, well, people are not. Some people are just not smart.
Like, I like my cousin Alex. He's 29. I think. Have you met Alex?
Maybe. I
He's
don't know.
okay. So my dad's Tom, his older brother Paul. He passed away a bit ago, but it's his son,
Yeah,
right?
maybe.
And he wanted to get. He was like, dude, like I wanted to get a tattoo when I was around your age, and he's like 8 years older than me. But he was saying like he wanted like across like the side of his rib cage, like um, what are they called? Like telephone lines. And I'm like, why? And he was like, I have no freaking clue. It was a stupid thing. Like I even asked myself why I wanted that. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
glad he didn't get that.
Oh yeah.
And because I'm like from afar, that could have just looked like EKG lines of a flat
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it would just not look.
Yeah. I don't get it. But
Says the guy who's sleeve to sleeve, back to butt, like,
yeah,
and
don't listen to me. But whatever you feel like doing, do it. But at least put some thought into it.
yeah, really, like, oh, I don't like it when people get tattoos like close to their crotch. I'm like, don't. Why? Like that just makes me cringe. Like people who
Oh
have
yeah.
them like right here, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I can send you a video of one of my favorite YouTubers. He got a tramp stamp of his own face.
Oh, so you did the Steve-O.
Yeah, he did the Steve-O. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up for today's episode.
Yeah, probably.
Of this week's episode of the Just Because podcast.
Yeah.
Episode 5. Holy fuck, we made it here.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know. But I would say the Patreon's going live.
It is going live. Yeah, you should talk about that.
The next couple of days. So the link will be somewhere down in this general area.
Right on Danny's pretty finger.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be somewhere in that general area. Go check it out. There's going to be some fun shit coming. And yeah, that's kind of all I got for that one. I mean, we just kind of got to get that one rolling. Yeah, like I said, the first couple ones will probably just be very dry runs of like, let's see how this works.
Yeah, pretty much. But thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Your hosts, Marodelo and
Dan the Man. Stay weird, kids. Stay weird.
Stay weird and have fun.
Yeah. Don't do anything we wouldn't do.